Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident fanalist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_data. All right, so this is the final day of the 3-day-in-a-row spiel, so we're kind of, as much as it might be a little sad, it's also great because we move on to sort of the next phase of this, which is more of a preseason type schedule, because freaking preseason, you know what I'm saying? By the way, the GPT-5 stream is about to start, so I will be pausing this momentarily. But while we wait for that, couple of updates. First of all, sorry I didn't get that podcast out sooner, as well as Packernet After Dark that was done. I just sometimes forget that I didn't upload it yet. Things to keep an eye on. It should have been released because I'm releasing it today, which means tomorrow it should be already there. But check out the Packernet Podcast on YouTube, because Mr. Carson Caldwell has dropped an absolute banger. We've got a video to go along with that Caleb song. Caleb's a Crybaby. Phenomenal song. Unbelievable video accompanying it. That's going to be up on YouTube. I'll put it up on the socials and whatnot. We'll see. With that being said, I got a little prompting from the wife, and I told her flat out, I'm like, no, you can't do that. I looked into it. It's not allowed. And she's like, oh, really? You sure? And of course, me being me, I'm like, fine, I'll show you. Let me show you. And I went through and I looked, and it's like, no, it's allowed. You just have to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, what? I swear I did this before. So what I thought I wasn't allowed to do, turns out I am allowed to do, and so we have begun the process, and there is already a single out, and that is releasing these songs not just on YouTube. It's being distributed all over the place. The only place I've actually checked is Spotify, and we are officially on Spotify as a music platform now, under the name Packernet Studios. So far, there's just a single golden bullet with an absolute banger of a graphic. So everybody's been begging, where can we get this? I want this playlist. I want the music. Where's the music? How can I get the music? It's like, I don't know, dude. Well, we've got one solution, which is now YouTube. And it takes a little bit of work, but I can get these songs over on Spotify and whatnot. It doesn't cost a ton. I'm using a platform that kind of pushes it to Spotify and a bunch of other places. Wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but figured it'd be kind of cool to have some of these Packernet songs over on Spotify and whatnot. Let me see if I can figure out what some of these other. So here is the list where it's apparently being distributed: Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube Music, Amazon, Pandora, Deezer, Tidal, iHeartRadio, Claro Musica, Saven, Boomplay, bunch of other stuff that I'm sure nobody's ever heard of. There's also social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I don't exactly know what that means, but I believe, for example, you'll be able to actually grab, so if you're using TikTok and making videos, you should be able to grab the Golden Bullet song, for example, and use it in a TikTok video, I think. Same with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, but I don't know how that works. The other thing, which is hilarious, I have to keep opting in every time, which is annoying, but Roblox, which I don't play. My kids play it. I don't know anything about it, but apparently Roblox, there's music somehow involved, and so if you or your kids play Roblox, potentially Packernet songs will be on that, so keep an eye on that. All right, what else we got going on here? 2 minutes until the stream starts. Let's get some other minor news. CBS has announced its game announcer schedule for weeks 1 through 3 of the NFL season. For the Packers, that means the first week, Detroit Lions at Green Bay. We got Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson. So if you care about those things, there you go. Via Wendell Ferreira, the Packers tried out 3 players today. This was on the 6th. Salah Almavi Laulu, who's a guard. Another guard, Gunnar Britton, it's a little easier to say. And defensive tackle, Devontae O'Malley, which I think the first and last name are a contradiction if I'm not mistaken. On August 5th, we got from Justice Mosqueda 2 defensive tackles the Packers worked out or brought in, presumably for a workout, Kevin Hester Jr., and Justin Rogers. In addition to that, 2024 sixth-round pick Travis Glover has been placed on injured reserve. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that means his season is officially over. So obviously that's pretty unfortunate for him. In his place, however, the Packers have signed wide receiver Isaiah Neyor. Dude is absolutely massive, so I'm guessing he's going to become a fast fan favorite. He is 6'4", 218 pounds. He is a rookie this year. I kind of thought so. I recognize his name, actually. Originally signed with the San Francisco 49ers as a UDFA, but was released on August 4th, so the Packers are going to give him a little bit of a looking. Do have some notes still from the 2025 NFL Draft. Ran 4 40s, 40-yard dash at the Combine, measured 6'4", 218, ran shuttles, participated in position drills, described as a track athlete turned football player with immense upside. Projected as a day 3 pick who will start on special teams, met with the Saints and Cincinnati Bengals. I don't hate that. Final thing I wanted to touch on real quick. They've got some joint practices going on. Just a couple little blips here, especially since I just saw this popped up here. Alec Iomanner absolutely butchering the Buccaneers secondary today. This is again from Rookie Watch, so I don't know how real it is, but I'm an Iomanner fan, so it felt good to see that. Colts and Ravens, August 5th, had a joint practice. Apparently it was very heated, lots of chippiness, fights, etc. One of the other reasons I wanted to do this, because I thought it was funny, Rams and Cowboys. Obviously not a Rams fan, not rooting for them in any way whatsoever. But the Cowboys just continue to have bad luck. Not only is their owner a complete, just not handling things well, we'll just leave it at that, but their joint practices have also made them look like they suck a lot. Rams dominated overall. Remember, the Rams don't even have their quarterback right now because their starting quarterback is currently getting epidurals for back injuries. The quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, delivered precise passes to Davante Adams, consistently beating coverage for big plays. Rams' run defense shut down Dallas's ground game, with Jared Verse creating consistent disruption. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens did have some success, but the team struggled with penalties, 12 total, as well as run blocking. Cowboys quarterback Joe Milton did throw a 64-yard touchdown, but suffered an injury. So it was just a complete disaster. This whole season is already a disaster. The Cowboys and Bears are becoming the same team. They're trying to keep up that this is our year thing, and it's just they can't even make it to the regular season anymore. Browns and Panthers had a few skirmishes. Teteroa McMillan was kind of, I think I mentioned it before, kind of had an up and down day. I do want to do a little bit of a rookie thing, partially our rookies, going back and looking at training camp so far, but also around the NFL. Panthers cornerback J.C. Horn missed practice due to a minor car accident. Commanders-Patriots practice was pretty entertaining because that was the one where you've got the head coach of the New England Patriots jumping in to stop a fight and getting his nose all bloodied. Packers obviously have a couple of those coming up, I think starting next week. But why don't we take a break right here? We'll come back and get started with the Matt LaFleur press conference and the notes from practice. I believe it was a low-intensity, short practice. Haven't gone through it yet, but that was the feeling I got. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. All right. Again, this is live, so there's going to be some other notes here and there. First of all, it looks like Pat Mahomes is going to play a quarter this weekend, which kind of surprised me, but that's... I'm always looking for a reason to watch any of these games, like the ones for me tonight. I'm hoping to think of a couple so I can watch a little bit of the games. Also, Travis Hunter will play on Saturday versus the Steelers. He will line up at both wide receiver and corner, so I definitely need to watch that in action. Davante Adams recently talked about that situation and basically said it's a terrible... He's exactly right, by the way. You're essentially just doubling the chances of you being injured. And, I mean, what is really the cost-benefit here? What is the overall benefit for Travis Hunter? You're not really going to make that much more money. Even if you end up being the highest-paid wide receiver or the highest-paid corner or whatever, you're not getting double the paycheck, but you are playing double the snaps. And so you're likely going to be cutting your career down. I'm not going to say in half, but you're certainly shortening it. You're massively increasing the probability of injury. Not only because you're doubling your snaps, but just the workload on your body is going to be too much. You're not going to be able to maintain that, by the way, for an entire career. It's just a bad idea. This is not smart. And the amount of pay you're going to get per snap is going to be significantly lower than anybody else. You're not even going to be compensated for all this extra that you're doing for the team. It's just, again, it'll be interesting. It's kind of like when one of these athletic freaks gets drafted as a quarterback for a team. It's interesting. If it works, it could be kind of fun to watch, but I don't think it's going to work, and it usually doesn't. All right, Matt LaFleur on Travis Glover. He's an ascending player. It's very disappointing we won't have him. LaFleur says Warren Brinson should be back today. He said, we'll do our best as far as the question of getting all 4 quarterbacks playing time on Saturday. So that's an interesting development to keep an eye on. About evaluating players in the preseason, all the little things they're doing away from the ball is equally important, he says. Got an update that Justin Fields and the starters will play on Saturday against the Packers. Aaron Glenn tells reporters there's a new philosophy in Florham Park. That's via Rich Cimini. And so with Matt LaFleur making it seem relatively clear that Jordan Love is going to play on Saturday, and we're going to have Justin Fields, we got a Love and Fields matchup. Matt LaFleur with an interesting nugget that research shows players are less apt to get injured early in the season if they play in the preseason. I know there are a lot of fans listening to that saying, I could have frickin' told you that 20 years ago. It's certainly been a rumored philosophy for a long time. Whether that's ever been fully proven or not, I don't know, but that's been, for as long as I've been doing the podcast, people have been commenting to me, calling in, obviously talking about this not-so-wives' tale that playing in the preseason will help reduce injuries earlier in the season. Now, on the flip side of that are the people that absolutely don't want anybody ever playing in the preseason, and they're not going to care what the research says if Jordan or somebody else tweaks their freaking knee. So it remains a lose-lose, however you slice it, but it sounds like some guys are going to be getting a little bit of playing time. The Emeka Ibuka show continues as he runs a go and wins a contested catch situation. On one hand, I want to kind of keep an eye on it and just see, because people are going to piss and moan if certain guys are better than other guys. At the same time, I don't hate it when you draft a guy at a position and that position just seems to blow up. We had luck with that with Jordan Love, for example. It just happened to be a great quarterback group. There's probably nothing statistical behind this, but just the way I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't hate it if it turns out this is just a phenomenal wide receiver class. Kind of like Aaron Jones the year that he got drafted. Just a ridiculous running back class. Point is, there's always a good class of something, and you want to be in on that. And it doesn't hurt if you take one of the top ones, if not the top one, of the group. Jacob Monk is currently taking first reps at center in walkthrough. Don't see Jenkins at first glance. I did notice he actually is out injured. Several people are. How much of it is legit injury compared to this is kind of a low-stress thing, any minor whatever we're pulling you? I don't know. Kyle Malzahn says not sure what's going on, but Xavier McKinney is off to the side to start practice, working out near Dontavian Wicks, who is injured. Again, he is another one that is out. I don't know the situation. Is it serious? Is it not? I don't know. Marshawn Lloyd has helmet and gloves on today. Warren Brinson is practicing, so is Carl Brooks. Mike Clemens says Packers practice is underway. First team offense is warming up. Shotgun snap to Love rolls on the ground. Elton Jenkins on the sideline not practicing. Monk is in at center. Packers are in shells today. And then we got the 3 guys that are out: Xavier McKinney, calf; Jaden Reed, foot; Elton Jenkins, back. The 3 bigger, newer guys. Bo Melton getting some exposure and first-team reps with the Packers defense. Carrington Valentine on the opposite side. Valentine Melton is a fun little lineup. Got the full breakdown here. Carl Brooks, Warren Brinson are returning. Xavier McKinney, Elton Jenkins, Jaden Reed, new injuries. And then in addition, you've got Rashid, Emmanuel Wilson, Dontavian Wicks, Nate Hobbs, Travis Glover, Kamal Haddon, Marshawn Lloyd, Christian Watson, Colin Oliver, John Williams, all out. Starting lineup: Love, Jacobs, Heath, and Melton. I think it's, what did he say? It's not Melton, it's Mecole Hardman. Musgrave, Kraft, Morgan, Banks, Monk, Ryan, Tom. So Morgan staying in at left tackle with Rashid down. Hopefully he has a little bit of a better day. Again, Monk at center. Got the 2 tight ends in. Kind of a shakeup at wide receiver. Defensive side, Gary, Clark, Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, normal. Cooper, Quay, Simmons, normal. Melton, Valentine is a fun shakeup. And then with McKinney down, you got Williams and Bullard at safety, which I love that. Ryan and Monk trading off at center and team. And right off the bat, Jordan Love finds Savion Williams for a 15-yard reception in front of Bo Melton, middle of the field. Melton played the football, but Williams made a strong catch to come down with it. Again, he went from doing nothing, not really even participating, kind of a, we got to figure out how to use him kind of a guy, raw, all that stuff that denoted he's probably going to redshirt the year or not play a ton this year, to having kind of back-to-back pretty strong performances. Not that one catch is a strong performance, but it's a big deal that he's out there. The first reception we see of the day, not only is he with Jordan, he's targeted by Jordan, he makes the reception, and it's kind of a highlight reception where it was good coverage, but he's too strong. All that is very positive, and it's becoming very consistent as well, which is extremely important. Jordan Love with a dot right over the top of leaping Isaiah McDuffie, put it right where he couldn't get it, and connected with Savion Williams for a 15-ish yard catch. Real nice ball by 10. I'm going to keep going back with Savion, just whatever I'm feeling in the moment. Real nice catch from Savion Williams in team, plucking the ball with Melton in coverage. Nice run inside by Chris Brooks. He looked really good. Play action bootleg to Musgrave for a nice little pickup. Packers doing some fun, unbalanced line looks. Abanikanda had some impressive burst inside. He looks like he's ahead of the 2 UDFAs right now, and I'd expect a good chunk of playing time Saturday against his former team. End around to Hardman, short again. Going to keep working that. Packers just got to learn to make that work because LaFleur will not stop. So just freaking do it, all right? Wes Hodkowitz says, remember John Fitzpatrick talking when he signed with the Packers last October how he hoped to have a chance to show he's more than just a blocking tight end. He's sure been doing that over the past week. Catches a pass in seam from Willis. Herman says John Fitzpatrick over the middle for a good pickup. My guy Deslin Alexander getting around Brant Banks for a pressure. Willis overshoots Sims, nearly picked by Oladapo. Does not appear as if Keyshawn Nixon is doing team today. Aaron Banks' false start gets pulled out for Jennings. Matthew Golden on a crosser in red zone for a touchdown. Bullard trailing on the play. Not sure if we're supposed to pay attention to him yet. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep being a douche about that. I wonder if that parallels the drill like one-on-one kind of thing, you know? I don't know. It's weird. Who can say? Really, who can say? What a one-handed snag by Kraft to get red zone going on 3rd and goal from the 9. Love just threaded it in there. Crowd and offense go wild. Spofford says Kraft with an amazing one-handed catch while falling down in the back of the end zone, but official rules him out of bounds. So there you go. Tucker Kraft just had the most ridiculous catch, one-handed in the end zone. Ref said he didn't get both feet in, but still an incredible rep. Herman says, holy throw and catch. Tucker Kraft is blanketed in coverage in the back of the end zone. Linebacker back turn, no opportunity for success. Love throws it right past the linebacker's ear hole. Kraft makes an unreal one-handed catch that I have no idea how he secured on a bullet throw. Ref said Kraft was out. It was close. I don't care. That was effing awesome. Then we got Love is just tearing up the defense in red zone. Love to Savion for a touchdown with tight coverage from Cooper. Now we got Savion Williams beating Cooper in coverage. Comes back the next play and guns one to Golden, who makes an unreal diving catch for the touchdown. There you go, back-to-back by the rookies. Beautiful stuff. Spofford says rookie Savion Williams with 2 nice grabs already in practice, one down the seam, the other short at the goal line, both from Love. Now Golden lays out in the back of the end zone for a tremendous 2-hand snag, and he's ruled in. Man, don't start getting my hopes up. Now Golden brings in a beauty in the back of the end zone from Love on 3rd and 3. Amazing footwork by Golden. Jordan Love, speed option keeper for a rushing touchdown. Offense toying with them right now. Nagler says Matthew Golden with an incredible catch on a heater from Love in the back of the end zone. Great googly moogly. These are all repeating the same play, but still, it's like I said, I like to get all the goodies. Schneemann says Matthew Golden's hands are special. Just made a falling fingertip grab in the back of the end zone during red zone drill. Gutekunst said the night they drafted him that he thought Golden had arguably the best hands in the draft, useful for a team that dropped a lot of passes, which is funny because I think I remember that. I'm pretty sure I remember him saying that and thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I was going based off of all the statistics, and there were no statistics to back that up. But we're seeing just incredible hands from him, and that's why, GMs and scouts putting in that amount of work as opposed to just glancing at a couple stats is kind of important. Kyle Malzahn says Matthew Golden with his best catch by far in training camp. Jordan Love's throw was ahead of Golden in the back of the end zone, but somehow the rookie wide receiver fully extends, keeps his feet inbounds by centimeters for the touchdown. This guy is having himself a Packers camp. McManus good from 33 and 44 left hash, but then goes wide right, 47 right hash. He is now 45 of 48 in camp. Willis has found the rhythm with Hicks, slides one in for Hicks near the pylon. I'll tell you what, let's take our final break here, and we'll just fly through the rest of these notes. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Kalen King pass breakup on Amar Johnson with the twos in red zone. Shepard drop in red zone for a would-be touchdown right through his hands. Again, Shepard was kind of doing some good stuff. Haven't heard his name a ton recently, and now we add a drop to that. He's kind of, stock is slowly slipping. Julian Hicks makes a play every day. Outstretched diving catch right at the pylon for a touchdown. Great throw from Willis, only place to put it. Herman says these rookie wideouts can play. You can tell Goody was surprised as anyone after day 2 that they took 2 wide receivers, but they just couldn't pass on the value of either one. Early returns say that was a good decision. Trust the board. The Packers' offense having possibly their best day at training camp thus far. In prior days, the defense has dominated a majority of practices. Eversole says, looks like a few players and coaches are already watching the golden touchdown on the tablet on the sideline. A lot of laughing and holy bleep kind of stuff. Tentavian Wicks seems down in the dumps today since he's missing another practice with a calf injury. I say that because Romeo Doubs just walked up to Wicks with a big smile, gave him a hug, and said he needs Wicks to smile. Now we got McManus good from 45 and 49 left before 52 right goes wide left. That's 47 of 51. First time in camp, Brandon McManus has missed multiple kicks in a day. He's 4 of 6 so far with makes from 33, 44, 45, and 49. By the way, 4 of 6 typically is a good day. Usually, if it's Mason Crosby or any other competition, you're looking at 4 of 6, especially with some longer kicks going, pretty good day. Rashawn Gary's sack versus Jordan Morgan. Great coverage on the back end by the defense to force Love into either a check down or coverage sack, depending on your interpretation. Another great coverage rep by the defense, coverage sack by Kenny. In red zone, Bullard breaks up a pass for Kraft in the end zone. That a boy. Romeo Doubs does it again with a 20-yard touchdown over the shoulder from Love. Outstanding throw to place it over Ballantyne. Doubs does a Nitschke field leap after a touchdown catch from Love. Free play because of a jump by Wooden. Love looks to Kraft in the end zone and has him, but Bullard tops it away. Nice play by 20. What a throw from Jordan. Once again in the red zone, find Romeo Doubs on a fade. Doubs on a heater in camp. By the way, Mr. Numberman brought something to my attention again, so I need to tighten up my language a bit. I've been talking about how Doubs has great hands and whatnot, and he does. He has phenomenal ability to make incredible catches. He also has drop issues. That shouldn't come as any surprise to anybody else. So don't think when I say he's got great hands, what I'm saying is he doesn't have drop issues. I'm talking about his ability to catch passes that are very difficult to catch. Numerous times catching difficult passes so far in training camp. He's been well known for, mossing people is kind of his thing. He's very good at that kind of stuff. It's also true, though, he has drop issues. So understand what I mean when I say that he's got good hands. He has a good ability to catch difficult passes. A couple more notes on that. Quarterback Jordan Love throws it right in the breadbasket to Romeo Doubs on the back of the end zone. Corey Ballantyne in good coverage. Played it well, but Doubs with great concentration and hands to haul in the touchdown. 3rd and 3 from the 13. Jordan Love drops a pass over Romeo Doubs' shoulder on a fade for a touchdown. Doubs beats solid coverage from Corey Ballentine. Kalen King with a couple pass breakups today, just outplayed Cornelius Johnson in the air down the left sideline to break up a Malik Willis pass. Good for him. He's been, as I mentioned before, he's been kind of lacking a little bit, just from my own recollection in terms of maybe more bad plays, bad days than good. But still a fan of Kalen King, and hopefully he can continue to string these together. A couple updates from Herman. Kalen King, fantastic coverage and a pass breakup on Johnson down the field on a go route. Good ball from Malik, better coverage from King. Aaron Mosby is doing team today. Brenton Cox reads a screen pass perfectly and almost picks it off. One-handed, falls incomplete. Ballentine with a diving pass breakup. Nice play by 35. That does it for the short practice today. Practice ends with Ballentine emphatically breaking up a pass in the flat to Hicks. Practice goes 1 hour, 23 minutes. Next up, New York Jets. Jaquan Brisker just picked off Caleb Williams on a deep vertical down the middle of the field. Double coverage with Nahshon Wright also in coverage. I mean, it's just sitting there. I didn't go look for it or anything. Kyle Malzahn says, can't remember the last time a Packers rookie came into training camp and impressed me as much as Matthew Golden has. Green Bay finally invested in a first-round wide receiver, and it has a chance to take this offense to the next level. Going to be intriguing to see Golden get worked in this offense. Rashawn Slater leaving practice on a medical cart. He went down during team period. Appears to be a left leg injury. It's real bad news for the Chargers. Matt Schneidman says Xavier McKinney makes it sound like he won't practice for a while because of the calf injury that sidelined him today. He doesn't expect to play in the preseason, said the injury has just been lingering, but emphasized he'll be ready for week 1. Then we got, as the medical cart reached the sideline, Rashawn Slater threw his helmet in frustration, slammed his hand in the cart. A trainer placed a towel over his head. He was then helped inside, so that, sometimes people assume things that are not true and they end up avoiding something serious, but it certainly sounds pretty serious as of right now. We got some Bears news. Right tackle Darnell Wright and cornerback Kyler Gordon left practice early today. Christian Watson made sure every fan that waited through his workout got an autograph. It's a good dude. Greg Braggs Jr. has an update for the Chicago Bears, and it's a positive note for the offense and for Caleb Williams. Here's what it says. Caleb Williams did a nice job navigating the first-team offense into field goal position on the 2-minute drill. Operations were clean, snaps were clean, everyone got up to the line of scrimmage organized, which is important. This is what we're calling good news for Chicago. Boys, you better snap into gear fast. If we're going to be putting our frickin' finger paintings up on the fridge because we're able to get to the line of scrimmage, I mean, whatever. Again, I'm kind of pulling for him to win week 1, so it's not looking great right now. We got Cowboys camp here. Todd Archer, no sign of Micah Parsons yet at practice. He had been out here by this portion of previous workouts. So now he's refusing to go to practices that he had previously been to. It is just such a spiraling, terrible situation. Easton Butler says, rumor, according to a source, Packers will be wearing their throwbacks during the Week 6 game against the Bengals. All right. Don't think I really care when they wear them, unless they continue to be good luck charms, in which case, let's pick a really good game. Could just go ahead and wear them week 1 if you want. And it looks like the Lions are shutting down cornerback Ennis Rakestraw, who's going to be put on IR. So, Lions are trying hard to get people back from injury. Cornerback is kind of already an issue for them. I don't believe Ennis Rakestraw was going to be a starter, but he's certainly an important depth piece. I'm not sure, but I believe he's like CB4, so kind of an important guy there, pending any kind of injuries that could possibly take place. Becomes an even bigger deal that not only are they healthy, but, guys like Terry and Arnold take a big step forward. Guys like DJ Reed, who they brought in free agency, can continue playing at a solid level. Because if you got regression there, and Arnold continues to play like dog crap like last year, and you have no depth, I mean, that's a rough situation to be in. But looks like I'm just about caught up here with all the news and notes, so I am going to get up out of here. You all have a good rest of your day. I will talk to you tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Have a good one. Bye-bye.